Attention citizens, a prehistoric monster is on the loose. The Gill Man has killed guards. The Gill Man has been reported near Miami. The Navy is hunting the Gill Man. Hi everyone, it's summertime, and everyone deserves a vacation. Even us monsters. And today, the creature from the Black Lagoon goes down to Florida in Revenge of the Creature. Or as I like to call it, the creature goes on spring break. A year before the creature from the Black Lagoon was even shot, producer William Allen changed the ending to keep it ambiguous of whether the creature was alive or dead. And before the first film was even released, Universal Studios was working on a sequel. There was some thought of doing a female creature, using an earlier unused design for the creature costume, but the idea was abandoned. Producer William Allen admitted that one of his main sources of inspiration for Creature from Black Lagoon was King Kong. And in a way, the first film is a remake of the first half of King Kong. A group of people go on an expedition to a strange place. They discover a monster! And then the monster falls in love with the girl. So, for Revenge of the Creature, it was decided to remake the second half of King Kong and bring the monster back to society. Kong was brought to New York, but the creature is brought to Marineland in Florida. Marineland was the world's first oceanarium, the predecessor of SeaWorld, the Shed Aquarium, and other facilities. Hundreds of thousands of guests would come every year to see the fish, the sharks, the turtles, and most famously, the dolphins. Their dolphin Flippy even became the inspiration for Flipper. The cast and crew filmed in the real tanks with the sharks and other fish. Fortunately, the only incident that happened was when a turtle bit off the heel of the creature's foot and they had to go chasing after it. Like the first film, Revenge of the Creature was shot in 3D. And it's actually the first 3D sequel to a 3D movie. It's also the first movie for Clint Eastwood, who has a small, uncredited role as a lab technician. You gotta ask yourself one question. Do I feel fishy? Well, do ya, Gill Man? That's not what he really says. In 1954, when the first one came out, 3D was all the rage. But now it's 1955, and Revenge of the Creature was one of the last 3D films of that era. A couple of scientists are out on the Black Lagoon, and they capture the ferocious Gill Man. And they bring the Gill Man to Marineland in Florida, but it's hardly fun in the sun. The Gill Man is jabbed and studied by the scientists. However, he also develops an attraction to the female scientist Helen Dobson. The Gill Man is chained to the bottom of the tank, but he breaks the chain, escapes, kills people, and kidnaps Helen. And Professor Cleet Ferguson, the police, and the Navy try to stop him. When I was little, I actually liked Revenge of the Creature better than the first one. I don't anymore, but I could see where I was coming from, because it has much more of a feel of a campy B-monster movie. The first movie took its time and had this incredible atmosphere of the Black Lagoon. And within that atmosphere, the creature seemed possible and was spooky. In the second film, only the first part takes place in the Black Lagoon. The rest takes place in Florida. And without that atmosphere, the situation isn't quite as believable. So it takes on more of a schlocky quality. But they actually go with it. The creature sends tons of guests screaming and running for their lives. He turns over a car, he kills people, and it's broadcast all over the news. And even the Navy is after him. It's like he's turning into Godzilla. Even the film's theme of don't be mean to animals is so heavy-handed that it just screams of low-budget science fiction. Sometimes this movie is ridiculous. It doesn't have the subtlety of the first one, and it's not as effective. But it is fun. And it's still well made. While the style of this film may be different, it's still the same old creature. The Gill Man is back, but with slightly bigger eyeballs. Film historian Bob Burns suggests that this change was made to make it easier for the actor to see, but I do prefer the look of the first one. The actor and stuntman Tom Hennessy plays the hulking creature in the above-water scenes, and Rico Browning, once again, plays the creature for the underwater scenes. And no one could swim like Rico. He really was like a fish. The creature actors actually get a chance to act more and show more emotion in this one. Once again, he's a lonely creature who falls in love with the girl. But this time around, you have even more sympathy for him, because the scientists, in doing their research, are so cruel to him. Okay, let's go over this. Put the food cage in his reach. Then yell stop. Now he won't know what it means, so I'll condition him by shocking him with this bull prod. I sure hate to use this, but I guess we haven't much choice. When he starts killing people, you're on his side because he's earned his revenge. The film also takes a more scientific approach to the creature, and they measure his intelligence, which makes him more interesting and more threatening because he's thinking things through. It's amazing. Every test, every reaction, it just misses being human. So for a silent monster, they actually do a great job of exploring and developing new aspects of his character, so it's not the same thing over again. Aside from the creature and a brief appearance by Nestor Pavia as Lucas, this sequel is all new actors playing new characters. They do a good job with what they're given, but the characters are not as well developed as they were in the first film. Now I know Creature from the Black Lagoon isn't up to Shakespeare standards, but there was some depth there. And there was that great conflict between the two scientists. Here, the characters are more one-note and bland, which makes it hard to be interested in them. Also, because they're so mean to the creature, it's hard to care about them. While I have a problem with the supposed non-monster characters, I actually really like the tone of the film.
If I had my way, I'd always stay in Florida among the palms.
During the non-creature scenes, there's this wonderful light-hearted 1950s tone. The location of Marineland makes it feel like a summer vacation. There's some light comedy. The jokes might not make you laugh, but they'll make you smile. And there's some cute animals. There's all the fish, there's a dog, there's a monkey, and we get to see some of Flippy the dolphin, who, by the way, would only perform if there was an audience. There's also a self-referential quality to the film, because in real life, the Gillman was now a famous monster, and in the movie, he's the famous attraction of Marineland. So when I called the movie The Creature Goes on Spring Break, I meant it. It's like a vacation. There's not a lot of substance, but everything about it is so enjoyable. The 3D process, used for Revenge and many other films of the period, required 2 projectors running at the same time. When done correctly, it looked terrific. But when done poorly, it not only looked bad, but it could also give you a headache. So the fad of 3D wore out its welcome. And Revenge was one of the last 3D films of the era. And the final Creature sequel was done in 2D. Revenge of the Creature's campier qualities have not gone unnoticed, and it is the only Creature film to be used and made fun of on Mystery Science Theater 3000. As for Marineland, while it's had some rough years, it's still operating today under the new name Marineland Dolphin Adventure. Revenge of the Creature is a definite downgrade from the original, but it's a fun monster movie with one very awesome monster, so I give it 2.5 bull prods out of 4. Thank you for watching Dusty Old Movies, and enjoy your vacation.